People here are some of the poorest people in the world. People who have no access to a bank, no way to save their money, grow their money, or invest in the future.
Barclays is working with Care and Plan to build financial literacy and understanding.
The goal is to reach 400,000 people across 11 countries and is funded with a £10 million grant from Barclays.
Basically, Banking on Change gets a community together and they put money into a central pot. They use some of it for social funds when somebody has a problem in the family. They use other bits for loans to help new businesses. A lady set up a very small little shop.
But our friend Juliana, I made it on Yamana use was a loom morning in a scanana. What can so? No, my assignment, the other beer, and Carnos, no, never cage man.
I said, is there anything else that Barclays and Plan and Care can do to help you? And she said, no, you have given me my dignity back.
The key word in this is change. It's a different way of doing banking. But the other part of the change is the people who participate in this usually undergo some sort of profound change.
Our business is dependent on communities, and if we don't invest back in those communities, we won't be a sustainable business in the long run.
Since 2009, we've created 25,000 village savings groups across 11 countries. That's 500,000 people helped by the program, 80% of them women. They've saved $6.5 million, and already 600 groups have been linked to formal banking products. To deepen our impact and focus on our next generation, Barclays is committing another £10 million over the next 3 years.
This is the sort of thing that banking should be. With people, real people, give real loans to do real things. You've done a great thing.
All right, thank you very much. And it is a great honor to be here hosting this panel on the people at the bottom of the pyramid, the base of the pyramid. I'm Betty Liu. I'm with Bloomberg Television. With me here is the Barclays Group Chief Executive, Antony Jenkins. And I'm so glad to have Antony here to kick off this session on the people at the base of the pyramid. Now, I know you have a huge program at Barclays called Banking on Change. And before I begin, I just want to explain a little bit about what the base of the pyramid really is for those of you who are not 100% familiar with what we mean by this. This is 4 billion people around the world who live on less than $2 a day, and they are some of the people who are the most alienated from financial empowerment. And you have a program, Antony, called Village Savings and Loan Associations, or VSLAs, or Banking on Change, where you help village savings and loan associations, where you have communal savings. You help people save up to, what is this, almost $58 a year on this program, Banking on Change. Tell us the 500,000 people that you've reached around the world. How have you been able to make this program so successful?
So at Barclays, we really do believe in having an impact on the world beyond the business that we do day in and day out. And we love the Banking on Change program. It was a CGI commitment in 2008, and we've built on it very steadily over the years. President Clinton visited one of the programs in Tanzania. I myself have seen one in action in Uganda. And what strikes you when you go and visit these programs is just the impact that you can have on people's lives. And I remember meeting one of the members of the Village Savings and Loan Association in Uganda, and she described how she started off buying cows and selling milk, and then from there she progressed to a small hotel, and from that she was able then to send her children to university. And so the next generation benefits enormously. And as we built this program, there were really 3 things that struck us as being incredibly important. The first is to work in a space which you know about and which is sort of close to the business that you're in. And of course, banking is our business. And so addressing this problem of how do you create economic momentum for people at the bottom of the pyramid seemed to fit very well, seemed to be congruent with our own business model. The second thing is really about collaboration. We knew we couldn't do this on our own, even though we have a very good footprint in Africa. We don't have a very big retail banking presence, or any retail banking presence actually in Asia or Latin America. So we partnered with Plan and Care International, and we also partnered with local people on the ground to make this happen. And I think the last thing about the collaboration point is it's great to get our colleagues within Barclays involved because they get very excited about these programs and about making a difference. And then finally, the evolution of the program was really driven about thinking about how can we get more scale around this. And that came really from a sense that the trouble with the savings and loan problem is that its own success constrains it. Because once you start to have a very successful association, the money in the box grows and grows and grows, and so there becomes a security issue around it. And so by connecting the Village Savings and Loan Association back to the banking system and opening a bank account where this money can be deposited and kept safe, it then allows the Savings and Loan Association to continue to grow. So, you know, the three big lessons for us really were do something in a space you know something about, lots of collaboration, internal and external, and then continue to innovate the program.
So, Antony, what is the next level for Banking on Change?
Well, at Barclays, we spend a lot of time looking at what we call citizenship more broadly, and we've made a commitment to affect 5 million young futures by 2015. And that's really about entrepreneurship. It's about giving people life skills, interviewing skills, and so on. And from that, we will then make another set of commitments out to 2020. But particularly for Banking on Change, what we plan to do there is, firstly, we've committed another £10 million to the initiative. And in the spirit of continuous evolution, what we're now going to do is build the program out. So continue to connect the 5,000 savings and loan associations back into the banking system in the way that I described before. Again, enhance the connections of the savings and loans associations to other people and other resources that might help them grow and prosper. And finally, there's a strand that we really want to build out, which is about entrepreneurship and really getting about 41,000 sort of economically active businesses working from the Savings and Loan Association. And that, I think, is the next step from that. We've also got another exciting commitment that we're very happy to announce today, another CGI commitment we'll be making. And this is now to build off the work we've done on banking, but to address another really big issue in the world, an issue that affects those 4 billion people, and that's healthcare. We have a huge footprint in Africa. I spend a lot of time in Africa. I was in South Africa last week, and I'm going back there next week. And I'm very, very optimistic about the future of Africa. I think it's really the time that Africa can show all of its fantastic qualities, the great people there, of course, huge natural resources and so on. But Africa has 24% of the world's disease burden, 11% of the world's population, and only 1% of the world's healthcare resources. So, you know, the opportunity of Africa can't be taken advantage of if this issue of health isn't really addressed. And what we're doing is we're partnering with the big pharmaceutical company GSK to build a supply chain to distribute low-cost medication to rural parts of Africa. This includes creating micro-businesses to market and sell these drugs. So it creates entrepreneurship, creates economic value in the system. And we'll also be using the Village Savings and Loans system that we've set up to promote health education. And it's our objective to pilot this in Zambia. We are going to start there. We are targeting 1 million Zambians to improve the quality of their lives and quality of their healthcare by 2016. So it's a pretty audacious goal, but I think it makes a lot of sense. And there's one thing that I did want to mention, because I know a big theme at this CGI has been about the empowerment of women. And what we found, particularly with the Village Savings and Loan Associations, is that women in particular benefit. In fact, 82% of the participants in the Savings and Loan Associations are women. And so by creating economic independence, economic viability, and economic growth for these women, they can then help their families grow and so on. And I was particularly touched by the story that I told before, where the next generation have been able to get tertiary education and therefore benefit and grow. And for us, the evolution of the program, continuing to focus on Banking on Change, but also now combining, as I said, the expertise in pharmaceuticals of GSK with our expertise in entrepreneurship to create this supply chain as the next step in the journey is really important.
That's a great commitment Fantastic. Thank you so much, Antony, for sitting down with us.
Thank you very much indeed.